All right, let's talk about the new Superman. It's finally here. Superman, Legacy. And depending on who you ask, it's either a triumphant return to form or a soft, awkward reboot that nobody asked for. And the internet? Yeah, it's melting down faster than kryptonite in a microwave. So today, we're breaking it all down. What went right? What went wrong? Why fans are split down the middle? And why this movie has officially reignited the Snyder Wars. Let's get into it. Look, the outrage started way before the movie even came out. Ever since James Gunn announced his Superman reboot, people have been divided. On one side, you've got the Snyder fans, and let's be honest, they're still salty about the whole Cavill situation. And honestly, I get it. Henry Cavill had the look, the presence, the whole demigod in a suit energy. For fans of Man of Steel, this new Superman feels like a downgrade before the movie even starts. Then there's the other side. Fans who've been begging for a hopeful, comic-accurate Superman for over a decade. They're tired of brooding heroes staring at the rain. They want Superman to smile again. This movie tries to give them that, and that's where the fight starts. Twitter, Reddit, YouTube comments. It's a war zone out there. Some people are saying it's the best Superman portrayal since Christopher Reeve. Others are calling it MCU light, or worse, safe, corporate fluff. The divide is real. So, what did they actually get right? Well, quite a bit, if you're open-minded. First off, the tone. This Superman actually feels like Clark Kent again, not just an alien god punching holes in the sky. He saves people. He smiles. He's awkward around Lois in a charming way. It's closer to the comics than anything we've had in years. And speaking of comics, the film pulls from All-Star Superman, Birthright, and even Golden Age action comics moments. There's a scene where he stops a runaway train. It's cheesy, sure, but that's Superman. He's supposed to be the guy who shows up when things go wrong, not just when the world's ending. The costume? Honestly, it works. At first glance, it's like, wait, are those trunks again? But the design grows on you. It's a modern take without erasing the character's roots. And can we talk about the score for a second? No, it's not Hans Zimmer's Drums of Doom, but it's uplifting. There's actual hope in the music. That alone sets the tone for the whole film. But yeah, this movie has issues. Big ones. Let's start with the villain. If you were hoping for Lex Luthor, sorry, he's not here. Instead, we get a one-dimensional villain with an end-of-the-world plot we've all seen 100 times. It's like the writers Googled generic superhero villain and called it a day. And the CGI? Man, some of it looks straight out of a PlayStation 3 cutscene. There are moments that just look unfinished. Flying scenes that feel weightless, explosions that don't land. It pulls you out of the moment. Also, the pacing. The movie starts strong. You're locked in, thinking, okay, this might actually be good. Then the middle act happens, and suddenly you're checking your phone. There's a lot of setup for the new DC universe, and it feels forced. Cameos, Easter eggs, world building, it's all in there, but it bloats the story. Sometimes you just want a Superman movie that's, you know, about Superman. Now, if you're a hardcore comic fan, this movie throws you a ton of bones. We get nods to Action Comics #1 with the classic car lift. There's even a subtle reference to Kingdom Come Superman with a quick scene in the Fortress of Solitude. If you blink, you'll miss it. The dynamic between Clark and Lois feels ripped right from Superman for all seasons. Less snarky banter, more genuine connection. They're actually human together, not just quipping machines. But here's the catch. This level of fan service is a double-edged sword. If you love the comics, you'll catch these references and grin. If you're a casual viewer, you might just think, why is this guy acting like a 1950s cartoon hero? It's a balancing act, and this movie leans hard into nostalgia. Let's be real. The reason this movie feels so divisive is because we're still living in the Snyder aftermath. Zack Snyder's Superman was all about questioning power. Should Superman even exist? What if he's dangerous? It was heavy, brooding, and, yeah, sometimes exhausting, but it had a fan base that loved that tone. This new Superman flips that completely. He's not asking if he belongs. He's just trying to do the right thing. And for some people, that feels soft. For others, it feels like Superman again. That's why this debate isn't going away anytime soon. So what's the final verdict? Here's how I break it down. Faithfulness to comics, 9 out of 10. Action and visuals, 6 out of 10. Villain and stakes, 5 out of 10. Emotional weight, 7 out of 10. Overall entertainment, 7 out of 10. This movie is going to split the fan base. That's just a fact. If you wanted more of Snyder's Superman, this ain't it. But if you're looking for a classic hopeful Superman who saves people and smiles while doing it, you're probably going to leave the theater happy. It's not perfect, but it's a solid step toward rebuilding Superman for a new generation. All right, that's my take. But what about you? Did Superman Legacy live up to your expectations, or are you still Team Snyder? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more brutally honest reviews. This is Real Mind Reviews. See you in the next one.